Pharaoh Sanakht, the architect of ancient Egypt's third dynasty, 2686 to 2613 before Common Era. Pharaoh Sanakht, also known as Nebka, occupies a pivotal role in the early dynastic history of ancient Egypt, particularly during the Third Dynasty. His reign, estimated to have occurred around the early 27th century before the Common Era, marks a crucial phase in the evolution of Egyptian kingship and state organization. Sanakht's rule bridges the foundational efforts of earlier dynasties with the monumental achievements of his successors, representing a transitional period of consolidation and innovation in Egyptian governance. Despite the challenges of reconstructing his historical context from fragmented archaeological and textual evidence, Sanakht emerges as a central figure in the establishment of centralized authority and the development of administrative structures that would define ancient Egypt's political landscape and influence future dynastic developments. Sanakht's ascension to power likely followed a period of internal strife and regional competition among early Egyptian city-states. His ability to unify Upper and Lower Egypt under a centralized monarchy laid the groundwork for future pharaohs to expand and solidify Egypt's territorial boundaries. This period also witnessed significant advancements in bureaucratic organization and the establishment of administrative centers that facilitated the collection of taxes, management of resources, and implementation of royal decrees. Sanakht's reign thus represents a critical juncture in Egypt's journey towards statehood and imperial expansion, setting precedents that would shape the course of ancient Egyptian history for centuries. Historical context and dynastic position. Sanakht's era represents a transformative phase in Egyptian history characterized by efforts to centralize authority and institutionalize kingship as a divine mandate. The Third Dynasty, following the foundational periods of the First and Second Dynasties, witnessed significant advancements in royal administration, monumental architecture, and cultural expression. The consolidation of power under Sanakht and his successors marked a shift from localized rule to a unified state governed by divine kingship. This period saw the emergence of royal titles and ideological constructs that emphasized the pharaoh's role as the earthly embodiment of Horus, the falcon god associated with kingship and divine protection. Sanakht's efforts to legitimize his rule through religious symbolism and monumental construction underscore the interconnectedness of political authority and religious ideology in ancient Egypt. Scholars continue to debate Sanakht's precise chronological position relative to Djoser, the renowned pharaoh associated with the step pyramid at Saqqara. The absence of definitive inscriptions linking Sanakht directly to specific monuments or events underscores the challenges in determining his exact place in the dynastic sequence. However, the complex interplay between regional rulers and central authority during this period highlights the dynamic nature of early Egyptian state formation and the nuanced relationships between regional powers and the central monarchy. Sanakht's rule coincided with technological advancements in quarrying, construction techniques, and architectural design, which facilitated the construction of monumental structures that served both administrative and religious purposes. Family and lineage. Pharaoh Sanakht's lineage is intricately linked to the royal families of the early dynastic period, potentially connecting him to predecessors such as Peribsen and Kheskemwy of the Second Dynasty. The familial ties among early Egyptian rulers were essential for legitimizing kingship and ensuring dynastic continuity in a society where divine right and ancestral lineage were paramount. While the specifics of Sanakht's familial relationships remain speculative due to gaps in historical records, his association with prominent predecessors suggests a lineage deeply embedded in the traditions and rituals of ancient Egyptian royalty. Exploring these familial connections offers insights into the mechanisms of succession and the dynamics of power within early Egyptian society, illustrating the importance of kinship alliances and ancestral ties in securing political authority and social cohesion. Sanakht's accession to the throne likely involved rituals and ceremonies that affirmed his divine status and legitimacy as a ruler. These rituals, conducted at key religious centers and witnessed by high-ranking priests and officials, reinforced the pharaoh's role as the intermediary between the gods and the Egyptian populace. The symbolic gestures and religious rites performed during Sanakht's coronation underscored his divine mandate to rule and his responsibility to uphold Ma'at, the principle of cosmic order and justice that governed Egyptian society. The continuity of religious traditions and the preservation of divine kingship were crucial for maintaining stability and harmony within the kingdom, ensuring prosperity and protection for the Egyptian people. Achievements and monuments. Sanakht's reign is associated with significant advancements in monumental architecture and administrative reforms that laid the foundation for future dynastic achievements. While specific attributions are elusive, his era likely witnessed developments in pyramid construction and the refinement of funerary practices associated with royal cults. The construction of monumental structures such as pyramids, temples, and tombs served multiple purposes, including honoring the pharaoh's divine status, facilitating religious rituals, and ensuring the eternal preservation of the ruler's ka, or life force. Sanakht's patronage of these construction projects not only enhanced his prestige and authority, but also stimulated economic activity and cultural innovation within the kingdom. The Third Dynasty's legacy of innovation in architectural design and ritualistic practices suggests Sanakht's reign contributed to the evolution of Egyptian statecraft and cultural identity, setting precedents that would influence royal construction projects and religious practices in subsequent eras. Investigating potential contributions to these monumental achievements offers a deeper understanding of Sanakht's role in shaping early dynastic Egypt's cultural and architectural landscape, highlighting the intersection of political authority and cultural expression in ancient Egyptian society. Political and military activities. Pharaoh Sanakht's reign was characterized by efforts to consolidate territorial control and assert Egypt's dominance over neighboring regions. The transition from a decentralized state to a centralized authority under the pharaohs required strategic military campaigns and diplomatic alliances. Sanakht's role in these political maneuvers, aimed at securing borders and integrating peripheral territories, underscores his significance in early state formation and the strategic considerations that shaped Egyptian foreign policy during the early dynastic period. Military expeditions conducted during his reign would have been instrumental in expanding Egypt's sphere of influence and solidifying the pharaoh's authority over diverse and sometimes resistant populations, illustrating the complex interplay between military strategy, political authority, and cultural identity in ancient Egypt's geopolitical landscape. Sanakht's military campaigns likely targeted neighboring regions and rival city-states that posed threats to Egypt's territorial integrity and economic resources. The pharaoh's ability to mobilize armies, command naval expeditions, and negotiate treaties with foreign powers contributed to Egypt's emergence as a regional superpower in the ancient Near East. The conquest of foreign territories not only expanded Egypt's boundaries but also facilitated the acquisition of valuable resources, tribute payments, and access to strategic trade routes. Sanakht's military prowess and diplomatic acumen were essential for maintaining Egypt's dominance in a competitive geopolitical environment and securing the kingdom's economic prosperity. Religious and cultural contributions. Religious beliefs and cultural practices were integral to the legitimacy and authority of ancient Egyptian pharaohs. Sanakht's reign likely saw the continuation and refinement of religious ceremonies and cultic practices associated with kingship and divine rule. The pharaoh's role as a mediator between the earthly realm and the gods was underscored through rituals conducted at newly constructed or refurbished temples and royal complexes. Sanakht's patronage of religious institutions and cultic centers would have reinforced his divine status and affirmed his authority among the Egyptian populace, highlighting the interconnectedness of religious ideology and political legitimacy in ancient Egypt. Exploring these religious and cultural contributions illuminates Sanakht's efforts to align himself with traditional religious ideologies while adapting them to serve the evolving needs of the centralized state, showcasing the dynamic nature of religious practice as a tool of governance and social cohesion in ancient Egyptian society. The construction of temples and cultic centers dedicated to deities associated with kingship, fertility, and the afterlife underscored Sanakht's commitment to religious piety and divine protection. These religious edifices served as focal points for communal worship, state-sponsored rituals, and offerings to the gods on behalf of the pharaoh and the Egyptian people. The architectural grandeur and artistic symbolism of these structures reflected Egypt's cultural sophistication and the pharaoh's divine mandate to maintain cosmic order and balance in the universe. Sanakht's patronage of religious institutions also extended to the priesthood, who played pivotal roles in conducting daily rituals, overseeing temple administration, and preserving sacred texts and teachings. Legacy and historical impact. Pharaoh Sanakht's legacy reverberates through the annals of ancient Egyptian history, reflecting his enduring contributions to early statecraft and cultural development. His reign during the Third Dynasty laid essential groundwork for the monumental achievements of subsequent pharaohs, particularly in the realms of architecture, administration, and religious practices. While the specifics of his accomplishments may be obscured by the passage of time, Sanakht's role in establishing centralized authority and advancing cultural norms set a precedent for the grandeur and stability of the Old Kingdom, shaping the trajectory of Egyptian history for centuries to come. The enduring impact of his reign underscores his pivotal position in shaping early dynastic Egypt and laying foundations that would endure for millennia, highlighting the enduring legacy of innovation and leadership in ancient Egyptian civilization. Sanakht's contributions to statecraft and governance were instrumental in laying the foundations of Egyptian bureaucracy, taxation systems, and legal frameworks that facilitated economic prosperity and social cohesion within the kingdom. The establishment of administrative centers, regional governors, and state-appointed officials strengthened the pharaoh's authority and centralized control over Egypt's vast territories. Sanakht's administrative reforms also promoted cultural exchange, technological innovation, and artistic patronage that flourished under subsequent dynasties, contributing to Egypt's cultural and intellectual achievements during the Old Kingdom period. The continuity of these administrative practices and cultural traditions underscored Egypt's resilience and adaptability as a unified state governed by divine kingship and cosmic order. Conclusion: Pharaoh Sanakht, Nebka, occupies a significant yet enigmatic place in the chronicles of ancient Egyptian history. His rule during the Third Dynasty represents a pivotal era of transformation and innovation, setting the stage for the monumental achievements of subsequent pharaohs. Through an exploration of his historical context, achievements, and cultural impact, we gain invaluable insights into the complex tapestry of early dynastic Egypt and the enduring legacy of its rulers, illustrating the dynamic interplay between political authority, cultural expression, and religious ideology in shaping one of the world's oldest civilizations. Sanakht's reign exemplifies the evolutionary processes of early state formation, religious evolution, and cultural consolidation that characterized ancient Egyptian civilization. His strategic initiatives in military expansion, administrative reform, and architectural patronage laid the groundwork for the prosperity and stability of the Old Kingdom, fostering a legacy of innovation and leadership that endured for millennia. By examining Sanakht's contributions within the broader context of ancient Egyptian history, we recognize his enduring impact on political governance, religious piety, and cultural identity, reaffirming his status as a foundational figure in the annals of world civilization.